You are about to enter a space of ultimate football knowledge. From four guys with little to no actual football experience, except for armchair quarterbacking. Brace yourself for passion and knowledge like you have never seen. Welcome to the Football is King podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to another episode of the Football is King podcast. We are so glad to have you here. Today, we're a bit delayed. So we apologize. It was a busy week. We had stuff going on. But you know what? You know what they say. It's better late than never. Especially this week, because we're going to be talking.
Where the pod was at.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about America's favorite team right now in college football. Them fighting Texas Ags.
Oh.
It's a rare moment.
It's a very rare moment.
Oh, man. Sorry, before we get into all the details of the game, wasn't it great just to hear Kirk Herbstreit just get so pissed as we came back because he hates us so much, and him having to swallow his pride just to be like, all right, I guess they are good at football.
The crazy part is, like, Marcel Reed literally played with his kids in high school.
Maybe he didn't like him. Maybe Marcel Reed bullied his kids.
They love LSU, though. I know that.
Herbie loves anyone that's playing A&M.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right, but we're gonna talk all things college football. Week 9, I think, is what week it was.
Week 8.
No, it's week 9.
Week 9.
Because professional football was week 8, and it's a week ahead.
That's right.
And we'll start to talk playoff implications because we're getting at that point. It's still hard to really tell what playoff implications are because I don't really know what the committee's going to do, to be honest.
Next week, we will have a little idea at the very least.
I saw today that there's probably 25 teams that still have a chance to make the playoffs. So, I mean, that's pretty got some meaningful football coming up, which is good. Oh, yeah. We love meaningful football.
It's about to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Which this is what they dreamed up when it was the 12-team playoffs. This is kind of what they dreamed up.
Yeah. Oh, man, there's going to be so many angry people at the end of the year. We're going to probably be doing an episode, the four of us, and we probably are all going to have 4 different opinions and just be fighting each other about who deserves to be in. And that's why we love college football.
True. It's 100% true. There will be a great debate on this.
Yeah.
Well, let's remind ourselves, for the 13th team, you have less of an argument than the 5th team.
No, I don't think I'm going to be arguing about the 13th team. I think I'm going to be arguing about the seeding of the 12.
Yes, that's what it's going to come down to.
Because I think that that's one of the things that they wanted to do with the 12 is they'll let everyone argue about, oh, should the 13th team have made it in, while secretly they want their favorites to be favored, like get a favorable schedule. You're going to see a team that has definitely less quality of wins and strength of schedule, Texas, get a favorable matchup because they've got a big name and they've got a lot of talent on the field, even though it's not necessarily showing.
It doesn't necessarily make sense when they're actually playing.
Let's, fellas, easy way to solve this. Let's just hand them that second L a month from today.
I would just like to say I've been on Team Texas has been overrated all year for this entire year.
I think they're good.
I think they're good.
They're good. Their
offensive line is terrible.
Their offensive line is bad, which is hilarious because their offensive line was like the strength.
That plays well for us.
Man, but their defense is elite. Their defense is fun to watch.
Defense is great. The only thing I'll say about their defense, if you look at the offenses they played against, they're all ranked like 70 and worse.
Yes, I get that, but also like they just got speed all over the place. I can watch Anthony Hill play football all day. He's a fun guy. I cannot wait till he slides to number 32 in the draft and falls to the Kansas City Chiefs. It's gonna be great.
But their offense is so bad it makes their entire offense bad.
Yeah, that's true. You know who else has a very bad offensive line at pass blocking? The Texas A&M Aggies. But they can run the ball.
When they run 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, when Mike Elko decides to, hey, we're going to just abandon throwing the football entirely and just run it right down your throat, our offensive line looks great. When he says we're going to just drop back to pass, I don't know what our left and right tackle are doing, but it's not pass blocking.
Well, wide receivers got to create space.
Well, it's really hard to do that when you only got 1.7 seconds to run your route. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah,
That too. I felt bad for Connor. I'm not gonna lie. We had to pull him, but it really was not all his fault.
I thought
No,
it was a good move to pull him, but
For sure.
I do feel bad for him because, like you said, it's not his fault. But you
well,
need a
some of
guy
it
in
is
there
his
Some
that
of
fault.
it
can.
is his fault. He
You
makes
need a guy in there that can go use his legs.
The pass rush got into Connor's head, and it literally like, and I think we were talking about this in the group text. It was the Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. Like you could see it. He was looking down at his feet. He was only looking at his one wide receiver, and that's it. And if it wasn't there, he was going to take a sack or throw it away.
Yeah, I just don't get it because it's like one week he looks unbelievable, and then the next week he looks horrible.
It's his decision making is
Just not consistent.
Yeah,
He also refuses to go to a second read.
yeah. He definitely does not do the progression of the offense.
But I do feel bad for him because he is under pressure 90% of the time. The thing with Marcel is Marcel can just hit the eject button really quick.
Which
Yeah.
but also
He's so
like
fast, dude.
our play calling shouldn't have been that much different. Obviously, we wouldn't have run the read option, but like in the first half, it seemed like we were just like we're not going to run the ball. We're just gonna like Connor is a throwing quarterback. We're going to throw it every play.
They do the thing where they throw it on first down, incomplete pass. Then we run on second down for 1 yard, and then we put Connor in a weird situation where it's 3rd and 8, and he has to play.
I really did. I felt like we had a pretty decent run game in the first half on the plays we actually decided to run. And it was like we have a clear advantage against their defensive line and linebackers.
It was the second drive.
It should have just it should have just been run the ball and then play action with Connor, and then Connor would have looked great. And then I mean I didn't write the stats down this week, but I will pull them up. Like he play the first drive of the second half?
The first drive, I believe we went 3 and out. We might have got 1 first down. Then we punted to LSU. They threw the interception. That's when Marcel came in, and that was it.
I mean, he threw
8-yard line, and we decided to make the change. I did think that sucked for Connor.
No, that was the perfect time to do it.
Uh-huh.
I did think that Connor was going to come back in.
Yeah. He threw the ball 18 times in the first half.
Yes.
That's a lot. It's not great. We were trying
a lot for him.
Well, it's a lot for our offense. It's like trying to if you extrapolate, that's almost 40 passing attempts in the game if you played the whole game. That's not a successful thing for our offense. That's not how we win games.
You should run the ball on first down. I hate when they throw the ball on first down because if you get the 4 yards on first down, you suddenly open up the whole thing on second down.
Or if we're gonna if we're gonna throw the ball on first down, have it be in a situation where we're in 12 personnel, make it look like we're gonna run the ball, have him under center, a nice play action, find a tight end kind of thing, like a nice easy throw on first. No, but when we throw it, we're throwing it. We're gonna be in shotgun.
Yep.
And it's
Colin Klein, I feel like he's like your typical college offensive coordinator is going to run a typical college offense, where Connor Wigman is more like he's probably more closer to an NFL style quarterback where you're not going to get much from the legs, and if you run predictable throwing plays, he also cannot make. He's not going to make the play.
Yeah, you need to be a little
run the ball. If you run the ball, run some play action, he probably is going to do good for you.
It needs to be running the ball and easy designed throws, especially early on, because you could see from the LSU game, he is a confidence quarterback. So that first 15 scripted plays, we do need to get him some nice easy throws, or it doesn't have to be an easy throw, but it has to be one with no chance of it being a bad play. So if we want to take a deep shot, we put Marcel Reed in. We get the couple touchdowns. LSU goes and scores and makes it back to a 1-score game. And the bomb to Noah Thomas was a dime. It was a great throw, but that's an easy play for Marcel. I have one option. It's chuck the ball deep, And if it's not there, you just overthrow him. So you don't have to think about it. Like I'm fine with Connor could do that too.
All you
Where
can't do is underthrow. You can't underthrow that ball.
yeah, but it's just like you can't have Connor trying to run these RPOs where he's trying to read the linebacker and the safety and then fit it into a tight window. That's not a confidence building throw.
No.
Yeah, the play calling sometimes is a little bizarre. It seems like Colin Klein is more comfortable with a guy like Marcel, which helps the offense. Because suddenly, once Marcel got in there, even like the running plays were going for 20-plus yards.
Yeah.
No matter what we did, it was going for 20 yards.
It was fun.
I think it made LSU's defense go, shit, man, he may tuck that ball. He may take that ball and he may take off. And so they're second guessing themselves. Now we got momentum.
The entire offense.
Our offensive line's starting to look like we're just bullying them.
I'm still not convinced that Marcel's playing next week.
No, I don't think he should. The offense of just, hey, we're going to run the read option every play, that ain't going to work either.
No, because they got South Carolina has two
Carolina plays
ends that are ridiculous.
South Carolina's defense is much better than LSU's defense.
Yeah. They got first round D ends.
Yeah,
I think you go with Connor. You go back to. I don't think South Carolina in the trenches is better than LSU. I don't think their corners are as good as LSU.
I do love the idea of, hey, we're in the red zone. Let's bring in Marcel Reed because him in the red zone is nasty.
Oh yeah,
dude. When he pulled that ball, last second, that was the longest.
That was a fumble waiting to happen.
Oh, and was that the second touchdown?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He holds that ball for like 5 seconds. He's like,
situation. That's a
I'll
fumble.
take it.
Yeah. I was just like, I don't know how he got that ball out of there without it hitting the ground, but I'm glad he did and took off.
For sure.
He held that ball forever.
But I will say I appreciate Mike Elko, like Jimbo Fisher, right?
Yeah.
Not a game day coach. He was going to do everything during the week and everything during the offseason to make you think he's a good coach. Not a game day coach. Mike Elko will make any adjustment necessary to win the game.
And that's the one thing that you haven't heard anyone talk about. Everyone obviously is talking about him benching Connor, which is a huge call.
The way he did it, too, just walked over.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you're done.
But no one's talking about the fact that the defense basically shuts LSU out in the second half.
Dude, that's what's driving me nuts.
LSU got nothing.
Some respect on this name, bro.
And it's kind of happened in every game this year. Like the defense maybe doesn't look great in the first half, and then the second half they give up nothing.
At halftime, if you're within striking distance, you feel like you're going to have a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
I never felt out of that game against LSU.
No, that whole game, I was like, we are the luckiest team ever that we're still in it, and that's exactly what we needed.
That 76-yard touchdown, I said, "Oh gosh, we're done."
Yeah, I never felt out of it. I felt a little scared. There was a little moment I'm watching this game. My entire family at my mom's house. They're all rooting for LSU just to get in my head. And I'm like standing 2 feet from the TV and I'm freaking out. And then we start playing, right? That second half starts hitting and I'm like, oh, this is a different ball game.
Oh, it feels great.
It's like, let's fucking go.
I've been in that exact scenario where everyone was rooting for LSU when we beat them in 7 overtimes. And it just feels so great when you're just the only person.
3 years in a row. 3 years in a row, we got LSU. And,
dude, I don't know. Like, I don't know that I've ever watched a game where like the momentum swung so fast and so hard.
Okay,
like,
and I would like to put down on the record, and I'm sure we've done this before, but for our listeners out there, we are a Momentum is Real podcast.
It is real.
Okay, 100%. We don't care what people say that the people out there are crazy or like momentum is not a real thing.
In every sport.
Momentum is real in life.
It's real in the NBA. And the NBA is the one sport where it's matters.
But Austin said it best. It's real in life. When things are going bad, things are bad.
Yeah.
Like things go bad. When things go really well, you're like, dude, I'm living in a fucking computer program. This is amazing. I have the best sim life.
that's the thing that's driving me nuts though about the whole LSU situation is I've been watching all these podcasts and they're like, well, Garrett Nussmeier just made all these bad decisions. Hold up, Torian York baited that man to throw that ball in the middle.
Oh, dude.
He
Beautiful.
straight baited him.
Beautiful.
The two picks by Bates. The first one, they forced him out of the pocket, made him run to the opposite side of as he would like to, made a dumb pass, but they forced that. It was dumb decisions.
The one to the sideline, the second one, that's just a bet. I don't know if he sees him.
I think he baited him again because I listened to.
No matter what, that was a horrific decision. It wasn't even
looks
close.
like he's like kind of stopped.
Mays has to slow down to catch the ball. Like it was.
Well, I listened to Mackerel.
It was a bad throw, but
Greg
he baited it.
Was saying if you're in man coverage, that man's not whatever. That man's not over. So they were playing man, and then suddenly BJ Mays just drops to that guy. He baited him into the throw.
Yeah, but it was rough, but it was great. I loved it. I mean,
our secondary looked atrocious in the first half.
So that was the one thing to bring it back to maybe the Texas game, which we don't want to jump ahead because A&M still has 2 very tough games to get through. And South Carolina at night on the road is just
I'm nervous.
Screaming a let up there, but
not a whole lot of
LSU in the first half showed with some pretty good wide receivers that you can get at our secondary. And Texas has 3 very good wide receivers. So that's the one thing that makes me just a little bit on the nervous side, which I do think that our pass rush, I think LSU's offensive line is incredible. Like they're probably one of the best pass blocking offensive lines in football. I think before the A&M game, they had only given up 2 sacks on the year.
Yeah.
They had less pressures than any team in the country, I believe.
Obviously, that is not Texas's offensive line, so I do think that we will have an advantage there. But also, I think that their 3 wide receivers have got some talent compared to the LSU wide receivers.
Dude, Lacey is
Lacey, yes, but if you do the average of LSU's top 3 wide receivers and the average of Texas's top 3 wide receivers, I would give advantage to Texas.
I would say Texas probably has the best wide receivers in the nation.
Lacey, I literally was sitting there like, how is he always open and how does he make all these catches?
Yeah, he was making Willie look like a little bit of a
It was literally like every third down, they were like, let's throw it to him.
What? I think it was like 3rd and 16, and Nussmeier just threw it up to him.
Yeah, he threw it short, and both our guys just ran. I mean, that's the best play in football, don't you know? Run your receiver deep and then throw the ball 10 yards behind him.
Short, and then they have to come back, and you get the PI.
Either they come back and catch it, or you get pass interference. Those are the 2 options.
Because most of the time, our corners didn't even know the ball was in the air. Like, they're not turned around or nothing. They have no idea what's going on. Which always makes me a nervous wreck. I'm like, oh, he's going to hit him early.
The thing I'll say, though, too, about our pass defense, we get to this point, it seems like every game this year, you get to the point in the 3rd and 4th quarter where they can't run the ball at all, and you get in predictable pass situations, and that allows our defense to honestly get better.
That is true. LSU could not run the ball.
They ran for 24 yards, didn't they?
At all. Yeah, it was
23 carries, 24 yards.
23 carries for 24 yards. And, I mean,
insane.
It was just like a dominant inside.
And 12-yard run in the first half, so that was like half their yards right there.
Yeah, Caden Durham had a 12-yard run, and he ended up with 15 yards total.
I mean,
he had 11 carries for 15 yards, and one of those was for one of them was for 10 yards. My bad. Garrett Nussmeier had the 12-yard run, but in total he had -3 yards because he got sacked.
That just shows, though, like if the corners can play good, that D line is brutally good.
Well, and in the second half, I felt like Elko went full Steve Spagnuolo. It was like, we're bringing pressure every play. We're just going. We're going to run an exotic pressure. First half seemed like we were doing the classic, hey, we're going to go 3 down linemen and drop 8, and we'll just see what happens.
I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it.
Playing zone,
tune in. Well, I don't know what the order of these episodes being released is going to be, but if you might have already heard it, or tune in tomorrow to Blake Stichkowski on 3 down linemen on a Hail Mary in the Bears Commanders game.
But I will say, Mike Elko, I feel like the first half is just like he's just analyzing things.
Yeah.
Game is like he goes to halftime, makes his adjustments, and he is.
He is.
I just listened to his halftime speech.
Oh, the halftime speech was great.
It was great. It was great.
It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but it was still good.
As Pat McAfee would say, he's a football coach.
He's a football coach.
I loved.
I thought there would be a little more yelling, but like he just built it.
No, when he yelled focus twice, I was like, all right, I'm in. Let's go. I'm gonna run through a wall.
He does
he
yell.
didn't belittle anything. Like he didn't say like we're doing this, don't do that. Like he just said we need to do these things and we will win. It's all good.
He yells so much more than Jimbo. It is awesome.
Yeah,
the penalties though, holy shit.
Yeah, we're still dumb.
Okay.
We're still dumb.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was gonna say that bothers me for
that was
Texas
so undisciplined.
is
we're still dumb.
Yeah, a lot of undisciplined, but then also we were flirting with like, hey, we're gonna get some people ejected. Like it's just too much talk. Can we handle the big moment?
Can we talk about that Jahdae Walker penalty though?
Sure.
That targeting, what in the
targeting?
Targeting.
Targeting is the stupidest thing ever.
The dude was
football.
He's straight up looking at him. You're telling me the wide receiver targeted the guy on a block?
Well, also he didn't like duck his head or anything. Like he was standing straight up and down.
They're saying that he's a defenseless player. He literally reacts to him before he gets hit.
He was looking at him. The only way
he looks directly at him and reacts to him and then gets hit.
Come on, y'all know better than this. You cannot apply logic to the rule of targeting.
You can't be
not possible
as a defender. There is no possible way that's even.
No. I'll give it to you. If it's like the classic like punt return and I'm running the other way and you come take my head off, we'll call that defenseless.
He was looking straight at it.
I thought
I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, there is a way to be on the defensive team and be defenseless.
I think it's your own fault if you're defenseless.
I agree with that too.
I think we got away with a few shots that probably could have been penalties, like Fire's on the ground and we're trying to punch the ball out while he's on the ground.
Like, it was one of those where I was like, thank God they didn't call that.
Dude, he dove straight on him. He's laying on the ground. He dives straight on him and swings at him.
I was waiting for there to be something that came from all the footage that was happening after the game, too. I was like, oh, gosh.
The beginning of the game, before the game, the warm-ups.
Oh, but before the game, that always happens. I just was afraid they were going to take it too far because they let that happen before the game, but maybe because it was after the game. I was like, can we get Turner away from the LSU sideline, please? Just like bring him over.
It makes me wonder. I mean, that was a transfer, A&M transfer to LSU player getting into it with an active player. It makes me wonder, these kids were like babies the last time Texas A&M played. So is the hatred there?
Yes.
Are we going to see some crazy shit?
Yeah.
I want to see some crazy shit. I want to see like fights in the stands. I want to see like chaos on the field.
So the question is who does the chaos benefit? Because if it's going to benefit us, if I'm Mike Elko, if I win the toss, I'm kicking it off, and I'm telling my special teams to commit a 15-yard penalty on the first play.
Go nuts.
I'm telling them on the first play, go set the tone.
Chaos benefits the home team, 100%.
Disagree because
it helps the fans go nuts for it.
They go nuts.
I'm with you there, and I think that it'll give the crowd will put extra pressure on the referees to call stuff for us, which that is a benefit. But if, let's say, a team like the typical Las Vegas Raiders, even if they're the home team, when it gets too chaotic, Like they just commit too many penalties, or like the Baltimore Ravens, like they commit too many penalties.
Yeah, it
Or
can't get
college
out of
football, the
hand.
Florida Gators, right? You're throwing a
Yeah,
shoe,
throwing
15-yard
a
penalty, you
shoe,
lose the
that's a
game.
problem.
Like so, like if we're not disciplined enough to where it actually will become a hindrance, then I don't want it to be chaotic. But if I think we can keep it, yes, 108,000 people at Kyle Field. I would say if I'm Mike Elko, I'm telling a guy, hey, on the first play, you're gonna commit a
That's the
15-yard
tone.
penalty on purpose. Like you
That game's gonna.
don't get ejected, but you just go and you just drive whoever into the ground.
It's kind of like the Jordan rules. Just anytime, uh,
Make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't want anything dirty. We don't support dirty
no,
play or whatever. You're
just
setting the tone.
setting the tone. Yeah, that game's got to be unbelievably physical. I thought the LSU second half was unbelievably physical. I thought the
Yeah.
defense just
They
went
dominate.
nuts. They went nuts. I don't know. There's got to be a speech somewhere that we didn't get to see. Like, I don't know if they walked into the defense and said, fellas, y'all are playing like a bunch of bitches. Go
Freeman.
knock some freaking skulls in and start dragging some
Did
people
he hit a home
around.
run?
Because that
No.
second half
Two
was
run double.
insane.
Oh. Elko's definitely the coach that grabs a guy out by the face mask.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I'm about it.
He
Dude, I am so
look at-
far behind you. I
when you look
just
at-
watched that hit.
when you look at Elko, you would never think like he's that kind of guy, but he is that guy.
Yes, you
He's that
would.
guy.
He is the stereotypical football
Yeah,
coach. He's got the
dude,
belly.
That's the problem. The belly throws me off a little bit.
That
No,
dude's out
that's
here drinking. That dude goes home and drinks like 17 bush lattes,
There's a good chance.
and he just watches football. Like that's what he does. He just drinks beer, watches football, talks to his buddies about crazy shit. That's a man that never grew up.
I love Coach
He's just a
Elko.
football guy.
man. Could you imagine pitching to Shohei Ohtani with the bases loaded in the World Series? Wouldn't that be nuts?
And he struck out.
I know, but man, I would be shaking like a leaf. Same if I was also pitching to Freddie Freeman the way he's playing right now, but all right, what else do we got to say
Poor guy
about this
needs to get out of this inning.
about this game? Well, yeah, I know. I would like this series to continue.
Oh, too. I'm worried about this weekend than I was last weekend. Only because the stakes are getting that much higher. We've never been here where you keep winning. The stakes are getting higher.
I was definitely way more worried about LSU than I was
I
about.
was way more worried about.
I'm
LSU.
still very worried about South Carolina at night on the road. But
I think it's the stakes. It's the stakes.
so if we win this game, you're going to be more worried about Auburn than you were LSU and South Carolina.
No, but I feel like South Carolina is a competent football team. I don't feel like Auburn is.
I actually am more I think I would be because Auburn is right before. Or do we get a bye?
No, we have a bye, then New Mexico, then Auburn, then Texas. The only thing I worry about
Auburn's going to worry me because that's the look ahead of all look aheads.
Yes, 100%. That's the only thing that I thought about was like Auburn's not a competent football team, but it is the look ahead game of all time. I mean, that's Alabama Vanderbilt right there.
Yeah. But like even that would be like if Alabama Vanderbilt was at like the end of the season.
Freddie Freeman can't run and he's running, and they just tie the game 5-5. My gosh.
Wow. Oh man, let's do a quick baseball minute.
I'm 30 seconds behind.
What,
my bad.
Who's the guy that was running in quicksand of all like slow motion?
Oh my gosh, Stanton cannot
I
run.
think I'm faster than Giancarlo Stanton, and I am
for
not a
sure.
fast human being.
That dude looked like he was like Peyton Manning ran with cement blocks on his feet.
No, Peyton
Giancarlo
Manning
Stanton-
looked like he would beat him in a 40-yard dash by 2
Oh, for
seconds.
sure. Peyton Manning, I mean, he had double the concrete blocks on his feet. He is not a person that can move.
He looked like Paul Blart Mall Cop.
That is when steroids have gone too far, is when you can no longer move.
Yeah. Have they pulled Garrett Cole yet?
No, still in there.
All right.
He's lucky that one didn't go.
All right. Do we need to say anything about LSU from this game that we haven't already said?
I do enjoy
think
the fact that everyone was on LSU's kind of business before the game.
Well, they're the fun offensive team that everybody loves. Because
But
that's
it's
what
crazy.
I mean. I get it. People love
Our seasons
offensive football.
the exact same though. Have literally looked the exact same.
Yeah.
Who do they play? Who do they end up
I didn't
having
think
to
Brian
play?
Kelly did anything terrible. Like he didn't do one of his crazy miscoaching things. I think
No, I
I
agree.
think he got outcoached.
2 weeks
But
from now is a straight up elimination game with LSU and Alabama.
Yeah,
mhm.
that's a big one.
Stakes for that game got absolutely huge because it's just a straight up elimination game.
Where's that game at?
No, it's in Baton Rouge, I believe. It's in
Ooh.
Baton
In Baton Rouge.
Oh, I know what we need to talk about.
That
I
is
can't remember what his name is, but the Texas A&M DJ needs a raise.
Yeah,
That
DJ.
dude was crushing it, and him playing Colin Baton Rouge at the end was just
Yeah.
beautiful. I was like, chef's kiss.
Also the scoreboard or the video board folks that keep putting the quotes about how Kyle Field
Yeah.
is
Yes.
Yeah.
over the quarterbacks as they're sitting on the bench dejected. Hilarious.
I will say, compared to some of the other quarterbacks' quotes, his quote's not that bad.
Oh, and it was in the summer, so it wasn't like he was taking a direct shot.
Yeah, his quote is just like, "Hey, Kyle Field's really loud, but like so is Death Valley," which
But
he's not wrong.
very funny.
But yeah, oh
Cooks,
man,
Brady Cooks was a straight up shot.
correct. Brady Cook was an idiot.
Yeah. I just think it's funny that they're taking those quotes and just putting them on their faces as they're walking off the field.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I love the shot that was going around of I think it was in the third or fourth quarter, or like late third, early fourth quarter, where just the camera is just bouncing. You can't see anything. Like it was just like that just made me want to go back to being a college student and just how much fun those games were. But we never won when we were in college. If it was the big game, we always lost. So
Always
it's like
That stadium looked insane this week.
yeah, it looked crazy. That's why I think the Texas game's gonna be.
yeah.
Even let's say we drop one of the next three.
The other great thing, even if we lose the next 3 games, that game will still be nuts because it's just the rivalry and hatred. It will be less nuts, but I loved the Texas A&M police during the game tweeting out all the LSU fans that they're arresting. It was great.
Cocaine possession was the big
Cocaine
one.
possession, section 313.
Usually it's like drunk guy released a sober wife. This
Yeah,
time
there was
cocaine possession.
so there.
I did not know this was a thing.
You got to follow Texas A&M campus police.
I gotta go follow.
So there was
usually the first week of the season, all the national college football beat writers are like, reminder to follow this Twitter account. It's Texas A&M police.
So the one that did go viral was the cocaine possession, but there was like intoxicated male released a sober girlfriend, but then there was also intoxicated male could not find sober girlfriend, so then taken to jail. And I was like, yes.
The ones where it's released to sober wife or girlfriend are the funniest things because I just know sober wife or girlfriend is pissed.
You know what? But
responded to unruly intoxicated subject, section 408, attempted to locate sober friend but was unsuccessful, arrested for public intoxication.
Yeah.
Beat the hell out of LSU.
I think that we are a Momentum is Real podcast, but we are also sober wife / sober girlfriend is a hero podcast. We love sober wife or sober girlfriend on this podcast. They are the best.
I just know she's so mad
without them. Yeah.
We're also defeated when somebody gets arrested for cocaine possession, so we're doing pretty good.
There we go.
Release a sober friend. This is amazing. Minor in possession. Northeast Tower provided false name to officer, arrested for failed ID.
There you go. Are we concerned that Marcel Reed threw for more yards than Connor Wigman when he only threw the ball twice?
Well, one was a massive throw.
He was 2 for 2. I mean,
he was 2 for 2. I mean, Connor Wigman went 6 of 18. He
gets happy feet and he gets lost.
Yeah, he was struggling.
The only reason I think, I still am not totally off the Connor bandwagon here, but Marcel, like if he has to bail, he can just bail, and Connor can't do it.
I'll say against South Carolina, we're gonna have to have a much smarter strategy in passing the ball if Connor's gonna be playing because our tackles cannot block their
They
DNs.
have two great DNs.
They will not stand a chance. Uh-oh.
What happened?
If
All right, we're back. I don't know what just happened. We're at 6:30.
yeah, at 6:30.
Yeah, we're gonna all be together for this one. It's gonna be a good one. At the
Speaking of, I
moment,
know this is an
yeah,
off
go for it.
off podcast discussion, but Blake, what time are you getting to Shreveport?
I'm probably gonna leave Friday and just drive as far as I can, and then try to get there by like 10 a.m.
That makes sense.
I'll say
All right.
the sports book opens at 10. So and I've tried calling just to figure out some details and stuff, but they won't. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm gonna
probably.
try. I'll try again tomorrow, but just trying to figure out like if there's ways to reserve a table or if it's even going to be a problem to get a table kind of thing. So,
10 a.m.
I'll
well,
leave
I mean,
Saturday at 5,
I
so I'm gonna leave Friday
I
after
was like,
work.
we'll be there all day. So like even if we don't have a table right away, eventually I'm sure we can sneak
Eventually,
our
we can
way
get
into
one.
one.
We'll be fine.
But yeah, the
Is James coming?
no, it's just the three of us.
Ah, okay.
Um,
I was hoping
but
to learn a little on how to win big on casinos, but
he doesn't win big on casinos. My guy does
online.
he won big playing online poker while we were in college, and he won big. He got first place in the like DraftKings fantasy football thing a couple weeks ago. So
I'm winning
once,
big. I need about 10 grand. So
What time do? Yeah, me too.
oh yeah, there's definitely going to be the most degenerate of parlays I've ever put together with $5
Yes,
on it. That's going to just be.
yes.
It's like there's going to be a degenerate $5 parlay that might make me like
I
200
say like
grand.
$5 for about 90 grand, and I'll be good.
Yeah.
Changed my life. Momentum coming, baby.
That
Let's go.
Sunday touchdown parlay is going to be great.
I
I
should
can't wait for the first game for it just to bust immediately. Just go, all right, well, whatever. There goes $5.
I just think
There goes
I need to
$5.
be in it till the last game where I can cash out at some point.
I was reading an article a couple weeks ago about the currently from this season of sports gambling, like how Vegas has made its money, and 90% of its profits come from parlays. And I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah,
I'm gonna keep putting them together though. I know that that's stupid, but
that's
One day,
gonna keep throwing them together. See what
one day
happens.
it might hit.
All right, let's talk about other college football games that happened. We're gonna fly through these though, because it was not a very exciting weekend of college football, to be honest. In my opinion, at least, nothing too
Yeah,
crazy happened.
nothing crazy. There's no craziness.
We're gonna have some good games this weekend, though.
yes.
We're gonna have the um, what's the actual expression like? An unstoppable force versus an immovable object. Well, this week we have a stoppable force versus a movable object in Penn State versus Ryan Day. So it's gonna be great.
Yeah, they both lose these games 100% of the time, so someone has to do something different.
We might
decide
have
who
the
to put
first
my money
college
on.
football tie.
Yeah, that's possible.
I can't
Maybe it'll
decide
come
who to
down to a
put my
coin
money on.
flip. Let's do that. All right. But let's talk about the games that actually happened this past weekend. Oregon still number one. They looked pretty freaking good.
Yep.
Yeah, they look good.
I still I don't know if it's just because he got a weird throwing motion. I can't watch Dylan Gabriel play football. I don't
No,
like it.
he reminds me of Spencer Rattler. Like there's something about him where
Yes.
like I just cannot watch him.
Yeah,
He
I don't
looks
like
like,
it.
Yes.
Not fun. And then our two teams that we'll watch this weekend that I'm assuming game day is in Happy Valley.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. Neither of them looked good this past weekend. Ohio State barely survived Nebraska, and really Nebraska kind of screwed that whole thing up. They definitely had a chance to win, and
Ohio State kind of sucks.
Ohio State kind of sucks. Because I told y'all, Will Howard kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Their offense is not
like,
good.
their defense is good. They have good wide receivers. Their offense is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's going on with Matt Rule? I keep feeling like he's a good coach, but then he's not a good coach. Like his teams always suck.
Well, I mean, he's infinitely better than they've been in the past decade.
I mean, they're 5-3. That's not amazing.
They haven't been bowl eligible since 2016 or 2015.
I know, but just still, like, it's not.
I think that was a bigger turnaround job than most probably thought. Scott Frost was very bad.
Well, yes, Scott Frost
So bad.
should be in witness protection. Yeah, like Penn State didn't look great either.
No, they that required pick six. If they didn't get that pick six, they probably
Yeah.
lost that game. If Wisconsin punted on third down instead of throwing a pick six, they probably win that game.
It's possible. Um, Texas didn't look good. Well, Texas didn't look great either.
Bronx.
No one
Man,
can
I
look
wanted that
good.
to happen so
No
bad.
one will ever look good playing at Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt's stadium has that weird camera angle. So
Yeah, and
it's just gonna look ugly the whole time,
there was more burnt orange than there was Vanderbilt.
which is surprising because Vanderbilt's having a great year for Vanderbilt. But
I don't care what anyone says about Vanderbilt. You still like Alabama, right? You still can't lose to the guys, and you
oh,
can't.
for sure.
You really can't even play them close.
And this game really wasn't that close. Texas was up 2 scores late into the fourth quarter the whole time.
For sure.
And then they got the backdoor cover kind of situation going on. But
Their offensive line is like almost so bad that it's going to screw their entire season.
I mean, at one point in time, Quinn Ewers was like 18 of 20 for 2 picks. And the only reason why he threw 2 picks was because he got his arm hit. Like he was playing like a perfect game at one point in time. But he threw 2 picks because his arm got hit because his offensive line can't pass block. So
I legit think that Florida's going to have a chance to beat those guys because Florida
won't score. Florida won't score.
I think Florida's getting better though.
They are still bad.
Mississippi State. Mississippi State's getting better, but they're still bad.
They're still bad. They're still going to have those crucial plays that they're going to screw up on.
I still think it's going to be a game where it's like Texas is not run away with the sucker anymore.
I mean, Texas hasn't run away with anything.
And they played like the worst schedule in America. I hate to say it. I don't think Texas is that good. I mean, I think they're good, but I don't think they're as good as everyone thinks they are.
It's definitely becoming the new popular thing, though, to say that Texas isn't good. People are starting to look at their schedule
when they beat Michigan. I've been saying that,
which means now all of a sudden it's going to be like the hipster thing to be like Texas is actually better than you think it is. They are.
Oh, it'll turn. Yeah. If they win next week, it'll turn.
Miami finally didn't have a controversial game. They got to play Florida State.
I'm so over Miami.
Man, but
I can't wait. I hope Clemson beats them by 50.
Same, but like, how do we not talk more about just the absolute turnaround that is the Florida State football team?
It's insane.
You went from undefeated to 1-7.
And he's going to get fired.
Oh, he should definitely be fired. He should be fired. He should already be fired.
Yeah, I can't believe that he hasn't.
And it's total bad luck, and I feel bad for the guy because he should have made the playoffs last year, but it sucks. You lost your first 2 quarterbacks, and no one wanted to watch your third-string quarterback play in the playoffs, and so we're sorry.
But still,
and then you lost your entire roster.
Yeah, even if you make the playoffs last year, it's like, okay, then you go 1-7 to start the season. That's hard to recover. If you go 5-4, or like if you finish the season like 7-5, like you can almost stomach that a little bit after.
He made the playoff, or whatever. I think if you make the playoffs, it just kind of helps with everything. It helps with the transfer portal. I think that actually them not making the playoffs hurts them for like the transfer portal because you're just sitting there looking at them going like, even if we go undefeated, we might not make the playoffs.
Yeah, which is insane. It's totally insane.
But
you win every game you're in. You should be in.
They're very bad.
Yeah, they suck. DJU, shockingly, if you're bad at 3 schools, you'll still be bad at the 4th.
Yeah. And their backup's not good either.
No, he's not.
Rodenbeck, is that his name? What's his name?
Isn't it Brock Glenn?
Isn't one of I thought Rodenbeck played no, sorry. Croman Hoke. Brock Glenn is also there, but Croman Hoke is the one I was thinking of.
Croman Hoke, the freshman, right? He's a true freshman.
He's also
the other thing that I still keep taking away from watching Miami play is I'm tired of hearing that Cam Ward is like the guy. He's not the guy.
He's not the guy. He's not that good.
He's the college football guy. He's gonna be he's a great college football fun quarterback, but the whole he's gonna be the best for the pros. No, he's gonna
No,
suck. He's gonna suck in professional football.
he already turns the ball over a lot in college. He's definitely going to turn the ball over in professionals. He'll be a
I
second
don't like him.
round pick,
I don't like him.
Yeah. All right. Hey.
running back.
Yeah.
Starting to see a trend here.
Yeah. We were right that there was no reason why BYU shouldn't have been favored at UCF as they dominated.
BYU, baby.
Dude,
Let's go.
The Storm and Mormons are
That
just
dude.
I trust. I trust
They're
Vegas.
so good, bro. I like them.
they're a fun
They
team.
didn't get to the playoffs and get crushed, but they're really good for the Big 12.
Them and Indiana are just they're a good watch.
Great story.
They just haven't played anyone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Facts. The chain on this man batting is insane.
And then I think it is possible that I owe Jonathan an apology. If you go back to week 1 of the college football season, SMU had a terrible loss, and we had this discussion about who would we rather be, and I was like, SMU still sucks. Apparently, SMU doesn't suck.
Was it New Mexico or someone like that they lost to?
They lost to. They lost to BYU.
Oh, was
That's
it
who they
BYU?
lost to. So I mean, they lost to a good team.
SMU's not a bad program, guys.
Yeah, they barely beat Nevada.
They had to come back in the last seconds to beat them.
But now they're just out here whooping people.
Like they might win the ACC.
Although
the ACC is a weird one. ACC's got like 4 teams that could go out and actually win.
Yeah, but they all suck.
The problem is Miami and Clemson keep winning, so SMU won't have a chance.
Why not?
Because Miami and Clemson don't play each other.
Yeah.
And SMU
one of them needs to lose a game.
Miami or Clemson.
Who did Miami lose to though?
Oh no, that's an offset. No, that's
Miami hasn't lost.
Oh, Miami's undefeated. Clemson lost only to Georgia.
Clemson lost to Georgia week 1.
None of them have an ACC loss. So that's the problem.
None of them have an ACC loss.
Yeah, but I think that if you go off of, I think.
SMU will lose. Well, no, but SMU's loss is to undefeated BYU. Well, Georgia's got a loss, and Miami's obviously undefeated, so they would be in.
Shit, it might be SMU.
It might be SMU Miami.
Oh, it might be because Clemson's. It goes to conference opponents' record, and Clemson's conference opponents' record is like 422. They're under 500.
SMU plays Pitt this week. I'm sure they'll kill Pitt because Pitt's really not that good. And then they got Boston College, Pitt. Virginia, and Cal. Huh?
Undefeated Pitt.
Yeah, they're not that good.
Unfortunately,
they just haven't played anyone.
The lack of divisions has screwed everything up because all these teams are like, oh, they're undefeated in the ACC, but they haven't played anyone. You're undefeated in the SEC. And the SEC, honestly, and Texas A&M has an easier schedule than most.
Yeah, I was gonna say we like to harsh on Texas's schedule because it's pretty soft.
We've got a good
A&M schedule is not that great, not like super strong either.
We fucked out.
It's about time. It's about time. For years, we had one of the toughest schedules in the country.
1 year we played the number 1 team in the nation 3 times.
Yeah,
3 times.
I just can't. I hate
Alabama, then LSU.
I hate the stupidity that is the way that all the conferences are aligned now. It just makes no sense. They have no logic, and so it causes this problem where the strength of schedules is so unfair.
Yes, very unbalanced.
That it's just like, it's all a flip of the coin.
Just gonna get worse.
I believe right now in the SEC it would be us and Georgia. Based on if we all have 1 loss, it'd be us and Georgia based on common conference opponents' records or something like that.
Huh?
Something stupid.
Wouldn't it be a repeat of LSU?
Nope. If the season ended today, LSU is currently in 5th.
Wow.
It goes Aggies, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, LSU, Bama.
Tennessee has 2. Just 1.
They should have 2. They have 1. They will have 2 by the end of the next week.
Yeah.
Once they play Georgia, they will have 2.
I don't know,
Very
man. I don't
close.
know. Man, take the under in that game.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
Tennessee straight up can't score.
Georgia can't score against their defense either.
Well, I trust Georgia to score more than I do.
I
Tennessee.
trust Georgia to score more than Tennessee, but I'm just saying the over under of that game is going to be what, like 50 something? I'm taking the under.
Yeah, it should be like 34.5.
Yeah, it should be this. What's the over under for the Patriots versus the Titans this weekend? Is like 37 and a half. I would still take 38 and a half. If that was the line for Georgia versus Tennessee in college football, I would still take the under.
Yeah, I probably agree with that.
That game has like 24-10 written all over it. Ooh, give me an old school SEC. Give me like a 6-9.
Yeah.
It'll be something like that.
6-9 LSU Alabama national championship. That's what I'm looking for again.
It'll be ugly, that's for sure.
Yeah, it will be. All right. That's all I had. Is there anything else that happened in college football that we forgot?
It was kind of just status
Kind of
quo.
a boring week. It was just everybody
Oh.
waiting for Texas A&M LSU.
Yeah, we do have to. Something very unpatriotic happened. The Irish did beat Navy pretty bad, and it's just
Yep.
not.
Dude, I kind of saw that coming. So.
Yeah, but you know what? It was
Our
a
only
good.
hope's Army now, baby.
It was a
Let's
good
go
run,
Army.
Navy.
It was
I
a
guess
good run.
Army was off, right?
Yeah, Army was off.
They got to play Notre Dame, I think, in the second to last week of the season. So
Well,
Yeah.
this week we got to witness Army. We have to witness a little
Army Air Force.
Yeah, Army Air Force, a little military crime going on because Army's going to
And-
slaughter them.
And it's at Air Force.
No, it's at Army.
Oh, it's at Army?
It's at West Point.
Someone broke into Air Force's stadium and so Air Force Stadium spells out Air Force
Yeah.
in the stands, and someone put they put the letters. They changed the sign basically to Chair Force, and you can see it from the highway.
That's
It's
funny.
pretty great.
I was like, as someone who was just in Colorado Springs, you can see that from the highway.
And it says Chair Force.
That's good. My cousin lives like right across the street from that stadium. I'm gonna text her and be like, "Did you see the Cheer Force Stadium?"
Let's go Army. Come
Yeah.
on, boys.
I've got a pretty good feeling that Army's gonna win that one.
I think it might be a murder.
All right, let's do the look ahead to the games this weekend that we will get to see all together. It'll start off with an absolute banger at 11 a.m. of Ohio State, Penn State.
That's crazy. That game's at 11 a.m.
Yeah,
screws everyone.
I really thought that would be like the night game, like
Why would that not be
whiteout.
a night game?
I assume they're still gonna do a whiteout.
It's Fox.
But
did their whiteout for Nebraska, or was it for Nebraska?
Whatever, you would do another whiteout. I would definitely do another whiteout.
It's Fox. Fox screws everyone.
If I was Penn State, every game would be a whiteout because that stadium just looks so cool like that.
Yeah, agreed.
My hope is that the sports book doesn't play sound because I don't want to listen to Gus freaking Johnson.
Oh, see, I like.
There
sound,
he goes.
I like sound.
Down the sideline. He's just screaming.
It's a half-yard run, and he's like, "Oh my gracious!" It's like, Gus,
I like sound, fellas.
please.
Man, I remember when we had the weekend that we picked, and it's gonna be all these good games. We're gonna have Ohio State, Penn State, gonna be great. Oregon versus Michigan, gonna be great. Well, that's not very exciting anymore.
That's gonna be a blowout.
Florida, Georgia, gonna be at least kind of exciting. That's gonna be a blowout.
It makes it more exciting when you could put a couple dollars on it.
That's true.
So it's not a bad week to do that.
Louisville, Clemson was gonna be good. No.
Yeah, Clemson actually looks really good.
I'm just looking
personal.
I'm just looking at this
first week personal.
I know that Kentucky has looked absolute dog crap the past 3 weeks, but their defense has played pretty well this season, and they're playing Tennessee. But you know whose offense also sucks? Tennessee. and Tennessee is 17-point favorites, and I'm just like,
Well,
ooh, I don't.
let's put some money on the Cats,
But
baby.
hey, they're 17-point favorites, and the over under is 45.
That's a math game right there. We got to do
Yeah,
the math.
one of those is happening.
Yeah.
Put some money on the Cats. Let's
Um,
go.
I just want to throw that. That's the other. I want to find just some random game to throw money on, just like some like Toledo, Eastern Michigan.
Oh, for
Let's
sure.
let's throw it
Sweat
down.
it out. Sweat
Yeah,
out a
sweat it out.
Toledo.
Although
Eastern
I don't think any
Michigan game.
MAC teams play because we're starting MACtion next week.
No, Toledo,
Or
Eastern
are they playing?
Michigan plays at 11 a.m.
Okay.
ESPNU.
I was thinking MAC was starting next. Oh, there's only 2 MAC games. So I believe they start playing on Tuesdays next week.
Or just the absolute toilet bowl that is North Carolina, Florida State.
You can make those games interesting real quick with a couple hundies.
All right, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Maybe $25.
Oof. How bad is Massachusetts that Mississippi State is favored by 18 points? That's a line right there.
I will take Mississippi State. I'll put money on Mississippi State on that.
Yeah, UMass has been quite terrible. All right. Speaking of sports gambling, we can't wait to regale you with stories of just Benjamins coming into our bank accounts next week. But we've been cruising right along. Last week we had 2 guys go 3-0, so good for them. Shane and Jonathan got the heater going last week. Blake unfortunately was on the opposite end of the BYU UCF trap line, but that was the right thing. Sometimes you got to trust Vegas. You're just like, this line doesn't make any sense. It's like, why are the Houston Texans dogs tomorrow to the Jets? I don't get it.
I stayed away from it because I was scared.
I'm sitting here and I'm just like, is like CJ Stroud injured? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's weird.
But coming up this week, I'm going with Kurt Signetti and the boys. I'm taking Indiana, home favorites at 7.5. I am going to be on the Texans +1 or whatever the number is at this point. I made this script on Tuesday, so I wrote my line down then. But whatever, Texans are going to win against the Jets, so I don't know why they're dogs. So I'll take Texans at plus whatever the number is. And I like the Washington Commanders. They're playing crappy teams, and Jaden Daniels can score points.
We're going to FanDuel. FanDuel.
I use FanDuel, but I used it on. Yeah, we're going to
No,
FanDuel.
are we going to the FanDuel Sportsbook?
That's the one that. Yeah, I mean we can go to whichever ones, but that is one of the ones that I looked into.
Okay.
At Sam's Town Casino.
Yes.
Oh. You want me to read mine?
Sure.
I'm going Penn State +3.5. Only because I think Ohio State sucks. Then I'm going the Pitt Panthers +7.5. And then Cleveland +1.5.
Cleveland.
I might be taking the Browns money line while we're in.
Jameis. Come on, Jameis.
I'm afraid, though. I'm afraid that can Jameis do it 2 weekends in a row.
Oh, he's going to do it every week in a row.
I'm going to keep riding this train.
Eat those dubs.
Texas A&M Aggies -2.5. Let's go, baby.
I also like that line, but once again, bet with your head, not your heart.
Yeah.
I have bet on them 3 weeks in a row and won.
Keep going.
Keep it going.
No.
Then I will take Arkansas Razorbacks +7 to Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss done dropped the ball to the old Razorbacks there.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Lane Kiffin was complaining about their game time.
Yeah.
He's soft.
Lane Kiffin was complaining about a lot of things.
He is 10 ply soft.
He has turned to, I need more views because my team's not that good.
Yep.
But I am taking – Austin's not going to like it.
What?
I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders +7 against the Cincinnati Bengals.
I love that pick.
Right.
All right. I like the line. I
love that pick.
Quarterback.
No, Gardner Minshew's our quarterback.
Little spoiler for our trip. The Raiders are going to be in my 6-point teaser in the NFL at +13 against the Bengals. It's going to be.
I like a good teaser.
Good time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, if we can get there early enough, I'll the spreadsheet. I'm on a heater right now going into
We need to
Shreve.
have rolls of newspaper like the dudes that watch the ponies and be, come on,
That'll be
come
good.
on.
That'll be good.
I'll bring a fedora.
That'll be good. All right. And Shane texted in his picks this week. He's taking Illinois +3, Vanderbilt +7, and the Bills -6 against the Dolphins.
The Vanderbilt line also makes no sense. +7.
Yeah, Vegas. Are they losing their touch, or are they just like trying to build our hopes up, and then they're just gonna absolutely like step on our throats?
That could be because they did lose a lot of money 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah. Well, they're still probably positive out of the deal.
probably.
All right, that's gonna do it for this episode. Depending on the order of release of the episodes, either tune in tomorrow or you already watched the other episode. And if you haven't, watch the NFL episode whenever that releases because it's going to be a good one as well because it was a wild weekend in the NFL this weekend. College football might have disappointed a little bit, except for the Texas A&M Aggies because we're the best. And I still have way too much hope. I'm still
Dude, I'm ready to be burned.
way too much hope. I'm ready to get crushed.
I'm so ready.
But
It's gonna be an ugly scene if it happens in 3 days.
yeah. Yeah. I promise, though, I am not going to emotionally hedge and
No,
gamble on
nope,
South Carolina because I
never,
would normally do that, but not this time. I'm all in.
never.
All in, baby.
All right. We will see y'all next week, and I cannot wait to tell you tales of victory. And probably we'll have to leave out a couple stories because it's gonna get wild. You know what they say? What happens in Shreveport never actually happened. All right, we'll see y'all next week on the Football is King podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate y'all.
Giga Mags.